my dear superstars. How are you doing? Would like to welcome you for today's lesson. And as usual, I don't want anything that's going to obstruct you or to disturb you or to distract you. So I want you to be in a very calm place where you are able to learn without any disturbance. I am always very happy, by the way, to be on your screen. I am Saddam, and every time you see me, you know we are going for the subject, okay? SST. I told you this is a very, very good subject that you should always tell your parents about, because it helps us, first of all, to settle conflicts peacefully. It also helps us to know things that happened long time ago when we are not there. And it also helps us to get some jobs, like being an SST teacher, being a pilot. You can also be an archaeologist. You can be a map interpreter, and so many others. So you should love this subject, and as well the rest of the subjects, okay? Now, last time, you know, we are having our new topic and people in our district. But remember, we are not the first people to live in our district. So we have to trace from the beginning until we get where we are. And I left you with an activity, and we have to first go through it. I have given you the opportunity to mark yourself, but be honest. If something is not right, put there X. If something is right, put there tick. And obviously you make corrections. Okay, we are going to read together. Question number 1. What other name is given to the Middle Stone Age? We said you can call it Middle Stone Age, or you can say, someone is saying the answer? Yes, Mesolithic. M-E-S-O-T-H-I-C. T-H-O-L-I-C. Mesolithic. M-E-S-O-L-I-T-H-I-C. Mesolithic. So if you don't want to say middle, you can say Mesolithic. Number 2, mention any one area where early man lived. Lived in caves, under big trees, near lake shores, near river banks. It is question number 3. How did the early man discover fire? Yes, by rubbing 2 dry pieces of wood, or you can say by rubbing sticks of wood, okay? He kept on rubbing a piece of wood against another, and he continuously did it, and eventually he saw fire, and he started enjoying it, and up to now we are using his knowledge to have fire or to make fire. Yes? What discovery made early man to live in caves? Remember, at first animals were living in caves, but time came and our brain developed, so we had to find a way of chasing those animals from caves. And now, which discovery helped man to live in caves? That was the discovery of fire. And it was the first discovery, major discovery of early man. And that discovery marked the beginning of the Middle Stone Age period. And when early man went ahead to discover farming, that marked the end of the middle and the beginning of the new one. Together? Good. Question number 5, or the last question, give 2 uses of fire to early man. Early man used fire for light. He used the fire to roast his meat. He used the fire for protection, etc. Do I have someone with 5 out of 5? Wow, bravo. I love you, and I'll continue loving you. And even today, you are going to get everything right. Now, if you did not get everything right, don't feel bad. This is not the end. I'm still giving you activities because Corona is still here. Okay? Since it is still here, we shall continue learning like this. As we pray, we sanitize, we wash our hands, we wear masks so that it can go away, or we can get the vaccine and we get back to school when we are still safe. Okay, now what do we have today? Today we are going to finally look at the new Stone Age and the Iron Age. Are we there? So today we are going to mark at the end of the Stone Age, then we begin the new life of Iron Age. Hope you still remember the meaning of the word age. Now, we shall also look at the examples of domestic animals that man later tamed, and the importance of farming, and then how the discovery of iron improved Aleman's life. Okay. As usual, we have session number 1. Who is ready for session number 1? Very good. Now, we have what we call New Stone Age. That you can also call Neolithic. Everybody, Neolithic. Boys alone, Neolithic. We can spell this word very quickly. Neolithic. Neolithic. So if you are tired and you don't want to say New Stone Age, just say Neolithic. Point taken? Wow. So I have a simple activity for you. What do you think marked the beginning of the Neolithic? And remember, that is the very important discovery of this period. Wow, that was farming. So farming ended the Middle Stone Age and it began the Neolithic. So my friends, you need to know that the most important discovery of Neolithic was the discovery of farming. This farming your parents are enjoying today, it was discovered by Aleman. And now we're enjoying it. Even me, I'm enjoying it, okay? Now, friends, we have to know some more information about New Stone Age. Now, here, when we reached New Stone Age or Neolithic period, there are some changes that happened to Aleman. The first one is that physically, man had a more developed brain, and that called for also a big head. So he had here a big head with a lot of brain, or a developed brain or mind. Are we there? Then he did not stop there. His body became less hairy, and his head grew larger, but with small faces. Okay? So the faces stayed okay, but only the heads. Our heads, the Aleman's head became large. Are we there? Because he had developed his brain. Hope we are at the same point. Now, what happened to economic part of it? We are now leaving the physical appearance. Now we go for business. What did he do to earn some living? Okay? Under economic, Aleman became more creative. He became more creative and made tools like needles, fishing hooks, and spears. That meant that during this time, he started carrying out fishing to earn a living. So economically, Aleman carried out fishing. Secondly, he began to live in simple huts and tree shelters. So he started creating huts, as he had made some more or better tools that could enable him come up with huts. Then he began to make pots out of clay. So he also made pots out of clay, and up now we are enjoying such benefits. So those are some of the ways how Aleman was doing economically. And we also have, he started growing crops and rearing animals largely. Remember, this is the very time when Aleman was enjoying farming, growing of crops and rearing of animals. Remember, his first animal was a dog. Then he went on to tame more, like cows or cattle. We had sheep, goats. All of those animals became domestic, and Aleman started getting milk. He also produced crops, and he started living a settled life. when man was doing farming, he stopped moving from place to place in search for food. So he started living permanently in places. One, because he had to look after his crops, and secondly, he had enough food. The reason to why early man was moving up and down was to look for food. So after farming, early man settled together. Now, my friends, we have to continue. Socially, how was he related? How were they related to one another? Now, here, first of all, new systems of laws and governments developed. They started ruling themselves. They started giving responsibilities for other members to lead them, and they started making some laws to guide them in their communities. Also, this property ownership was developed. It started now saying that one is my fishing hook. That one is my skin. That one, they started owning property. So what we are doing now, it was done by early man. We are just doing it in a new style, in a new fashion, okay? Also, they lived in extended families and in lineages. Do you still remember what a lineage is? Simply a group of families in a clan. So they started moving in communities during the Neolithic or the New Stone Age. Now, they began to live in river valleys or near rivers. And the reasons were simple: to get water for irrigation and home use easily. Also to use the fertile soil that for farming. You know, these places are very fertile. The Nile Valley places, I mean the river valley places, are very fertile. So they needed the fertile soil to carry out farming. Then these were very clever people. They wanted to trap animals which would go to drink water from the rivers. So that's how man had become. That's how great man had become. Now, friends, we also have to talk about the religious aspect, and the laws were developed. Why did they develop the religious beliefs and laws? One was to control the behavior of the people. They never wanted people to hurt one another. So they had to develop laws and to have beliefs, the religious beliefs. Are we there? Okay. So also to keep order and harmony. They wanted to have peace in their communities. So they had to embrace religious beliefs and laws. You know, these religious beliefs guide us, okay? As I can remind you about the 10 Commandments. They are beliefs and we believe in them, and they help to guide us. So even early people started developing beliefs, religious beliefs that would keep peace or harmony. Now, people began to live in communities. Why were they living in communities? One, to solve their problems collectively or together. As we do these days, we solve problems together. Also to produce more food, okay? They lived in communities to produce more food, such that many people can do farming and produce a lot of food. Also, to care for their gardens. And lastly, to protect themselves. You know, when you are many, even when you are weak, you can say we are strong because you are many. When they attack this one, the other one passes the other side, and the game continues like that. So these people wanted to protect themselves, obviously, against wild animals. So now, friends, these are some of the reasons to why early people were living in communities, developed religious beliefs, and so many others. Now, they started living in villages to produce food, more food, to care for their crops, and of course, to protect themselves. Okay? So now, I also want to let you know that man started to live a settled life in order to grow his crops, to paint pictures, like those whom I will take to a certain Stone Age site. That is Nyero Stone Age site. It has the paintings. You'll be able to see the paintings of early man. I will take you in P7, don't worry. Now also to guard his property, to solve their problems together or collectively. Now, this is what I want you to listen to. At the time, at the end of the period, which period are we talking about? The Neolithic, or you can say the New Stone Age. At the end of this period, man discovered another important discovery, and that was iron, or you can say iron smelting. And that marked the end of the Stone Age. Remember, we said age is a period of time in history, and we had two types of age, the Stone Age and the Iron Age. So the discovery of a mineral, the discovery of iron marked the end of Stone Age and even the Stone Age man. So after this discovery, we no longer had Stone Age man. Maybe now we would have an Iron man. So which discovery marked the end of all the Stone Age periods? That was the discovery of iron. And the discovery of iron marked the end of the Neolithic and the beginning of Iron Age. Is someone happy that the life of Iron Man, the life of Stone Age man stopped there, and now we advanced to another level, as you are going to see. Now, friends, session number 2, importance of farming to Iron Man. Remember, it was the major discovery of Neolithic, and you want to see how was farming of value to Iron Man. Okay, how is farming of value to you people? Do you have some family members who are farmers? Personally, I'm a farmer as well. I know you know me as a teacher, but besides teaching, I am a farmer. Yes. Do you have some of your parents doing the same way I do it? Okay, we want to see. Now, farming was very important and changed early man's life. How? It enabled early man to produce enough food. It enabled early man to produce enough food. Remember, he was running from place to place to look for food. Now, when he started farming, food was now obvious. He would be able to get it at any time. 2, it enabled early man to get time to make other useful discoveries and inventions, e.g. spears, knives, and so many others, because now he was settled and he had enough time to think. But previously he was moving from place to place. And lastly, farming enabled early man to live a settled life. How? He was able to get a constant food supply. Are we together, Mr. P4 and Madam P4? Okay. Now, farming was the main discovery during the Neolithic period. Just like fire was the most important discovery during the Mesolithic or Middle, then farming was the most important discovery during the Neolithic. And iron was the most important discovery during Iron Age or Iron period. Now, we have to look at session number 3, and what do we have? Iron Age. What is an Iron Age? Remember, we defined what Stone Age was. What do you think Iron Age is all about? Is someone thinking? You try it. Okay. Now, Iron Age was the period when Iron Man used tools made out of iron. Simple. Are we there? There was time when Iron Man was using his tools from iron, and that period or that age was called Stone Age. Its discovery marked the end of Stone Age. The discovery of iron marked the end of Stone Age. So it brought a number of changes on the life of man. Okay? And the use of iron helped early man to make iron tools, strong iron tools like pangas, knives, hoes, and so many others. The ones we use today. Okay? All of those started during that time after the discovery of iron, and he started making his things out of iron, and that's what is known as iron smelting. That's known as iron smelting. Making things from iron is iron smelting. And a person who does that is called a blacksmith. It's called a blacksmith, not a black man. Called a blacksmith. Now, also, Aleman started enjoying, like slaughtering of animals, started using strong iron tools, and stronger weapons were made for protection. Even stronger tools were made for farming. As you can see, Aleman started this, what we do now. So we are actually also living in the same period. Now we are reaching the people of Kampala, okay? They started from the iron age, because now man started enjoying. He started slaughtering animals using knives. Then we also see he made strong weapons for protection or for defense. Can see what my friend has here. It is a very, very sharp spear, okay? So he started making strong and better weapons for defense. Then you can see how my brother is enjoying, okay? He made strong tools for farming, and now here farming became very simple. And as I talk now, farming is very simple because of mechanization. We use now machines like tractors to carry out farming. So now we also added on from where the early people stopped, and which is a good thing. Even when you grow up, you have to discover, or you have to make something new, so that we shall always remember you. Now, we also have ornaments were made which were exchanged with other communities to get other items. So when these people started living in communities, so you would have this community, another community there, and they started coming up with things that beautify, that are so attractive. You can see my friends here. If I give you this thing here, I know you can be very happy. So these are ornaments. They are attracting things, okay? So people started making things that attract, like you can see my friends here. And they would exchange them to get other items. So my friends, how did the discovery of iron improve Alemani's life? How did the Alemani's life improve? One, iron tools were made. Iron tools made it easier for, okay? Iron tools made it easier for, okay, are we together? I know you are saying what is happening, don't worry. Now, iron tools made it easier to cultivate more food, okay? More food, which increased the food production. Then also strong iron tools were made for protection. And lastly, people easily built permanent homes, because this time they had pangas that they would use to cut poles for making these huts. So my friends, I come to the end of today's lesson, and I have I've designed 6 numbers for you that I guess everyone is going to enjoy, like the way you enjoy matoki and meat. Are we there? There are just 6 numbers. Settle down, cursive, good handwriting, and we shall link up in the next lesson. Wish you a nice day, stay safe, and bye-bye.